It's the NFL on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Denver Broncos and the Chicago Bears coming up next.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Denver Broncos and the Chicago Bears. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gordon. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From midfield now, here's Wilson. It's complete to Williams. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They try the left side here with Williams. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. And Jalen Holmes in on the stop.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So here are the Bears banked up to start their initial drive.
They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
From back at their own 10-yard line.
Starting on the ground with Herbert. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
From the gun, here's Fields.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hole.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. From just shy of midfield, Fields flush to his right.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line.
To throw is Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
They begin the drive with Williams.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep, and on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Wilson's throw caught here by Dosich.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joined the growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wilson.
This one swung out to Williams.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody covered. Oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 33. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 down at the 33. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he will
find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
That play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson will throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Russell Wilson. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he'll just get rid of it.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Wilson.
That one thrown away from the pocket. And the officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it 2nd down and 12. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
Now it's Fields.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
It was Frank Clark that time who got in there to bring him down.
But you do need to know as a young quarterback that if you're going to spread the field, the ball's got to come out quick, and you have to know where to go with the football really in pre-snap. Identify where you want to go and get rid of it.
And 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill.
He'll take it at the 42. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams.
Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
A beautiful fake.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete.
And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
Williams is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Williams will try again. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. This is the most important of them all, 3rd and goal. Here's Wilson. Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. He's got it, and it's 17-0. A 10-play drive that time.
And Cortland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away.
Velus Jones now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you
Now
just
you
called
can
it.
go.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Fields on first down. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Fields. There's Mooney with another catch. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
A handoff for Herbert.
Trucks over him. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Here's Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Fields now to throw. And again back to Kmet.
And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Open man right side is St. Brown. Touchdown, Bears! Equanimous St. Brown. A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bears are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And it's 17-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And able to get this out to the 25. The offense getting set again. We spotlight Javonte Williams, the running back.
We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Now Wilson on first down.
Got his man, it's Dulcich.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on second down. Wilson, throw left side, complete. That's Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Off the draw, here's Williams. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
From the 45 on second down, Wilson
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Now it's Wilson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line.
Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass. So whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watch the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, Fields. This will be caught downfield by Moore. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the 50, here's Fields. He's got a man, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Fields throwing again. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense, because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Fields. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. Oh, he's going to be brought down there in the field of play, and the clock will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Denver. And their offense has been in top form so far, especially their passing game, as it's helped push them out to this big halftime lead. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they too were able to take advantage of a soft secondary, as both of these two teams really threw the ball at will in that first half.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
To throw is Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Fields to Kmet there for a Chicago first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
Rolling to his right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Fields.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Throwing again is Fields. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a 1st down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Fields going to take this himself.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
On 2nd and 7, Fields. And there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Out to his left.
Chip. Fields hit, and the ball is loose.
It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And maybe some indecision there on what looked to be an RPO. He wound up keeping it, but that defense right on him to strip it away.
And typically when we see that type of indecision on an RPO, that means it's well defended. He had nowhere to go with it, and that allowed the defense to get to him and knock it free and make it a turnover.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At their own 13. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Wilson.
This will be caught. Jeudy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
79 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground. And here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Williams will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They run it again with Williams. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to...
Touchdown, Broncos! Jerry Jeudy from 4 yards out. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The point after is good, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away.
Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Onto the field now come the Bears.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 23.
Now Herbert to start the drive.
And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
Off play action, Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Fields going to keep it once more.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 32-yard line.
Here's Fields.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now it's Fields.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on. 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Fields.
To the right side, and he's got more, complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Let's go do this thing, baby.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
12 more yards there and another 1st down.
It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Fields.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown!
Chase Claypool
From 10 yards out.
and the Bears get a bit closer. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Santos now to add the PAT. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was finished off by the Chase Claypool touchdown catch.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Denver Broncos back out there. Former Tar Heel Javonte Williams, we shine the spotlight on him.
He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
To throw again on second down. Wilson dancing to his left. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape, because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Back to throw. Wilson. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
On 1st down, Fields. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Fields now to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
From the 27, Fields to the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the 1st down. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Here's a give to Herbert, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
It's showtime, baby.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields locates Mooney on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Fields on target to Mooney. 1st down, Chicago.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Fields. And he is
is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Justin Fields.
A 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Bears have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Denver's offense now set to go.
This game is really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson.
That's going to be caught by Judy.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies.
You couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Jalen Johnson. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
That's taken in by Dulcich.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
Now it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Russell Wilson, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Broncos will add to their fourth quarter lead. But that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away.
This one taken just inside the 10. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 27. Throwing to start the drive. Fields. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Fields.
He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30.
And they'll work this down inside the 30. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance traveled or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it, but he sure made it look easy there.
And that wound up traveling at even 58 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Herbert.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 44 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw.
And this will be caught by Mooney.
And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard. Now Fields going to keep it running left.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Flushed out right. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Justin Fields
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bears have cut it back within a score.
The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
Now the point after try for Santos. And the lead is down to a field goal now. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself.
after the touchdown. Here's Santos to kick this one away.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field.
Responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player is having that type of a day because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. But all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Now Wilson. This is Hamler on the receiving end.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Now the objective there, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Throwing is Wilson.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line.
So now Fields and the Bears.
Down 31-28. A little under 2.5 to go. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. On a huge mistake late, it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
Again, it's Williams. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Williams running left. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They give it to Williams, running right. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Here we go with Williams. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Bears will get the football back. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the 1st down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
Now Fields.
It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.